Hi, I'm Faith Pinot from LA Times Studios in Washington, D.C. Here are some of today's headlines from the Los Angeles Times. The first U.S. Russia summit in years is set for Friday, already raising concerns in Ukraine and across Europe. Michael Wilner reports that President Trump will host Russian President Vladimir Putin at a U.S. military base in Anchorage, Alaska. The meeting over the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine comes as a surprise move, after Trump spent most of the summer criticizing the Russian leader. While Trump has made it clear he wants to broker a peace deal between the two countries, allies warn Trump against cutting a deal without Ukraine at the table. Meanwhile, White House expectations for the summit shifted this week. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Tuesday that this will be a, quote, listening exercise for the president. But experts warn that Putin is a skilled manipulator and that he could use the private meeting to lock in battlefield gains and press for territorial concessions. On Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Putin is, quote, bluffing about peace, especially as Russia appears to push ahead with new offensives. Still, Trump says he'll demand a ceasefire and promises, quote, severe consequences if Putin refuses. The Kremlin announced the summit is set to begin at 11:30 a.m. local time, with the White House confirming that a joint press conference will follow. And in a historic move, venues used for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games will be allowed to have corporate sponsorship names. Reporter Tukni Nguyen says LA28 and the International Olympic Committee announced the first of its kind deal Thursday. The move breaks from the long-standing clean venue policy, which kept game areas free of advertising, forcing organizers to use generic names like calling SoFi Stadium 2028 Stadium. But organizers say it's about more than saving money on existing signs and avoiding confusion. It's also about a new revenue stream. LA28 has already locked in 70% of its $2.5 billion domestic sponsorship goal. Venues without naming rights can now bring in extra money to help fund the games. And places that already have sponsorship names, like Crypto.com Arena, can keep them if the sponsor signs a deal with LA28. If not, they'll get renamed without a sponsor. The field of play will still be ad-free, but for spectators and broadcasters, those corporate names are here to stay. That's it for now. To read these stories and more, be sure to subscribe to the LA Times.